Okay. Hello, guys. Hello, everybody. And hello, amazing, amazing, amazing people and all your worlds and realities. Welcome to this. Well, they were like, we were thinking about like, what are we going to call this call? Because all of us wanted like, there is an energy of having a conversation with, how many of you are from Pune? A majority of you from Pune or nearby areas? I know Tejas is, Parita is. Are a lot of you guys from Pune?
I am from Shirdi. You know?
Oh, you're from, I know Shirdi. I've been to Shirdi. I've been to Shirdi so many times. And I think I owe my engineering exams passing to Shirdi. And Haji Ali and Siddhivinayak. You know, so yeah. Oh, yeah. Jamnagar, Ahmedabad. That is so cool. I love that. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bombay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for joining and for this conversation. So,
Kolhapur.
Kolhapur, of course, Kolhapur. You know, and it's like, thanks to my very religious upbringing and, you know, my very religious mother, like, I know all of these cities by the temples. So it's like, I've been to Kolhapur ki Lakshmi, you know, Mahalakshmi temple there. And my mother took all of us there, and you know, yeah. So it's yeah, I know a lot of these places by the temples that we have there. So yeah, and thank you guys. You know, and yeah, so like I was talking about, like the topic that we were like, and then these guys suggested about whose money reality are you living in? That's the title of the call, right? Whose financial reality, whose money reality are you living in? So, and that's such a great question to ask. That's such a great question, because that itself kind of becomes an introduction into what is possible for you. So a lot of you may have done a few access classes or may not have done. Is there anyone who's not done any access class at all? Like does not know the clearing statement or something? Cool. Nobody, I'm guessing. Cool. And well, let me see. We have two screens. So, okay. Okay, so Vaishali probably has not done an access class. Thank you. So in, you know, so I'll probably not be going so much into the clearing statement, but with access, like you may have heard, or you can talk to, if you want to know more about access, you can talk to Parita, you can talk to Tejas, or any of your friends here. But you know, access kind of like has been, well, so yeah, just to give you an idea, in access, like we talk about this thing called as infinite being. And yeah, I mean, you'll hear some terms and you'll hear some words, and if you cannot understand them, please, I'm just volunteering Parita and Tejas here. Ask them, and they love to talk to new people, and they love to talk to, and you, or you could always like message me later on, and I'll be happy to talk to you about it. But you know, we all have been familiar with energies. We all have done different energy work, different, or may have not done. Up to you. But and then, you know, and you're in access, or you attend an access class, and you hear and you see change, and you hear a lot of change stories, you hear a lot of concepts, you hear a lot of things. And one of the things that we have is that you are an infinite being, which is, I mean, and a lot of times people say, be you know. So it's like if I'm telling Parita to be herself, so it's like, am I asking Parita to be Parita? Or am I asking Tejas, when I tell Tejas, like, hey, be you, like, or something, like, you know, and Tejas, like, I'm being me, like, is Tejas talking about he's being Tejas? Like, what does that mean? Or is it like actually you being the energy, space, consciousness, choice that you are, that is beyond you, that is beyond the lifetime that you are? And that's again like coming down to the main question of whose financial reality are you living in, whose money reality are you living in? So it's like very quickly, just to tease you guys, because I love to tease people. I realize that, and that I will be gentle, but take a look at like how big the universe is. Get a sense of it, or reach out to it, whatever you want to, but get a sense of how big the universe is. Now look at get the sense of how big is your money reality. Is the universe bigger or is your money reality bigger? Which one is bigger? And I'm not asking for a perfect access answer here. This is not even about that you have to unmute yourself and tell me what the answer is. It's about being, one thing I love in life is to be brutally honest with you, and then as a joke, we say lie to the world if you have to. But honestly, I sometimes I find lying a waste of time because I usually don't have many things to lie about. Unless like I have to tell someone, yeah, I have taken the COVID test or something, but it's really about, being brutally honest with you. So it's like, take a look at which one is bigger, your money reality or the universe. And for a lot of you, it'll probably be the universe is bigger. What if I told you your money reality could be that much bigger? Now, that will be something to basically, your mind will try to process it. And your mind will be like, okay, that sounds like a good answer. And I'm going to go with that. But what happens is something that the mind accepts as a good answer, that's great. Okay, you don't have to at least go in doubt about it. But it only goes that far, because mind does not know how to make that happen. And that's where the fun and the exploration and the journey called you begins. And exploring actually to making that as a reality for you. So it's, and I'm saying, thank you, Parita, for nodding your head. And then Tejas, and these are the only two people who are on camera. and a couple of more. And I usually like to see faces just because it just, your bodies communicate so much more visually as well as energetically. So it helps me go with different places and include you and your bodies in the journey with the conversation. So, and yes, this is, if you had not guessed it already, this the reason I was talking about how many of you have done access classes, how many of you are new to access classes, because this is just the beginning of the conversation getting weirder and stranger, that somebody passing by you will be like, what the hell is this person listening to even? Because but then that's how we are energetic play beings. When we include other energies in it, those energies contribute to us. And when we include those energies in our world, not only my life changes, your life changes, and people you care for and others included in your world, their life changes as well. And that's really like all of us are as if, swimming in this whole cosmic energy and that becomes, what if that actually could be your day-to-day, everyday reality? Not just half hour of conversation, but what if actually swimming in that whole space of cosmic energy, the energy space consciousness, could actually be your everyday reality? Then what would you change? What would you choose? What would you add? And I know I'm coming to the part of eliminate, but what's very interesting is the elimination itself becomes so little. Because everything, you allow every energy in your life to show up as the way it is. But the funny thing is, the energy that you be with that energy that's in front of you, that others may be like, oh, I want to eliminate it, get rid of it. But you become that actually magical person who's not at the effect of that energy that may be bothering others. How many of you have I keep hearing, is there really a financial crisis going on, by the way? Just curious, because I keep hearing people talk about it. And that's another thing, because anyways, I was the last person to come to know that COVID was going on. Okay. I really did not know until I woke up one morning and I hear that there's a lockdown. And I'm like, what? Why is there a lockdown? So, and that's just, it's not because I don't, it's just because I paid that much little attention to what others have to say about what's going on, because I like to be the choosing one in my reality. I like to be the choosing one. So yeah, so it's like a lot of people were like, oh, COVID, it's scary and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and anyways, like some of you may know, my father was not well at that time. And I was like, I don't have time for this um, disease spreading thing, because my father is in hospital. I don't have time to even buy this as a point of view that he could be exposed to this. I have a 74-year-old mother who has to go visit him. I don't have, so it's like, and what was very interesting was during that whole entire COVID time, we were out the most. And actually the reality, the way it was, the roads were empty and everything, and we could get to hospitals like within 20 minutes and anywhere. But it was also very interesting that no one around me got COVID, because I was willing to be that one person that, no, I get it that this may be true for others, but this is not what I would like to put my energy in. So it's like, that is how powerful we are. That even if there is a crisis going on, even if the world is saying that there is a financial crisis going on and everything. Now, there are two things that happen. When people talk about it, there's a crisis going on, there's a war going on. You not being an effect of it is really just one side effect. There's another side effect that you can is be in that space when you're not an effect of it, and also have the ability to change. Now, how many of you have desired to be that ability for people in your family, for people you care for? Even if you have kids and they have exams going on, there are two ways for you to help out people who are in need, and you care for them. One is buy everything that they're going through and be like, oh my God, this is so true. Or you can be that space where you're not affected by it. And then that's what opens the doors to really your Harry Potter, Hogwarts, and your magical tools, where you have access to everything that can change the energy of what is going on for others. And that's where you start becoming a gift, not just for you, but for the people you love and adore. So that is like, for me, that is a lot of fun. And that's what Tejas was talking about like a couple of weeks ago. We did a clearing night, and I gave one of the tools and tips about working with the molecules, working with the energies. And I know, like, look, I have 2 degrees in engineering, a master's and a bachelor's and a master's. Okay. So I know if there are physics people, this is not about an offensive thing that, oh, how can you talk about changing molecules? Molecules are so small. Yes, I'm aware. But guess what? You as a being is so pervasive as an energy space consciousness. When you choose to be that energy space consciousness, you're so pervasive that you also have the ability to not only be as big as the universe, but also have the ability to go into the spaces, into the molecules, and change things from their point of creation, from their point of destruction. And sometimes it doesn't even require for you to even move your fingers, move your magical wands or anything. It's really, it starts becoming, the minute you choose it, change already starts occurring. So everything that doesn't allow you to receive the gift of this call, regardless of whether you're getting it, not getting it, and whatever is beyond the words that are being exchanged here, everything that doesn't allow you to receive the gift of this call for you and me and for the world, can we please destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, provads, and beyonds. And that's the beauty. When few of us get together on a free Zoom call and talk about things and or not talk about things, but we be an energy, we be a choice, we be, because you made a choice to be here on this call. Your choice actually has a dominating effect on the planet, whether you acknowledge it, whether you realize it or not. And everything that doesn't allow you to acknowledge it. Because one thing I realized, for me, like a lot of times, like for years, and I used to work in corporate, and I used to always say this to any meeting that I used to have with my staff, that hey, acknowledgement is half battle won. But it's actually, in a way that is true, but that's also part of the truth. Acknowledgement, when you acknowledge something, it allows it to grow. Because what are you doing with acknowledgement? And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about money. Why are we talking about acknowledgement when it comes to money? But yeah, when you acknowledge something, you're putting your energy, space, consciousness with that energy. Now, just as a result of that, when you put your energy on that, you automatically start nurturing it. Like how when you look at a plant, from acknowledgement and acknowledging its beauty, you start nurturing it. And sometimes plants require that more than water and sun, and you can be that. And the same way with the energies in your life, when you acknowledge something, it grows. Yeah. So all of you, coming to money topic, get a sense of your money reality. Cool. Get a sense of your money reality. If you would like to get it in front of you, that's fine too. If you want to, if those of you want to, think it in the head, that's fine too. There's no right or wrong way. Do it your way. Okay? But get a sense of your money reality in front. And sometimes, like, some of you could be just doodling on a piece of paper, and you're listening to this, and when I say get a sense of your money reality, you already get it in front of you. That's actually awesome too. So there is no right way, there's no wrong way. Just do it your way. Get a sense of your money reality. And now, before the acknowledgement, look at how many points of views and judgments you have of it. Look at the positive judgments and the negative judgments, because in a case like this, the negative judgments are not going to stick you, but the positive judgments are going to stick you a lot more. Why? Because it's the positive judgments we like to hold on to. Oh, things are going well. I have a job, salary is coming in. That's a good thing. I don't want to change it. Why should I remove that judgment? If I remove that judgment, would I lose my job? Actually, no. But if you keep that positive judgment in place, that will most likely start to create a destruction, because energy is like air. If you try to hold it in place, have you tried to hold a nice perfume, smell of a nice perfume? Can you hold the smell of a nice perfume? No, it will still go away. And for those of you who have tried to hold on to a cologne or a perfume bottle, because it's like, oh, it's so good, I'm going to use a little, but even after a while, it starts to lose its essence. After 5 years, 10 years, when you open and you're like, why doesn't it smell the same? Yes, well, as you can tell, I have done that. So, so the thing is, yeah, because energy, if you try to hold it in place, it does not. It will either create its own destruction, or it'll create a growth. Okay. So the only way for the energy to be is get out of your positive judgments and negative judgments. So get present with your money reality once again. Take a look at your positive judgments. Take a look at okay, before the positive judgments, let's try the bad ones. Take a look at your 3 negative judgments. Okay. Now, with the first judgment, ask, is this even mine? No. Or is it basically someone else's? Or is this how the world likes to talk about it? Second, ask, is this even mine? Or did I make it mine? But before that, it was not mine. Third one. Okay. Again, if the third one is still there, because if you've asked, is this mine? And if it's already gone, and you already know that this was not you're creating your financial reality and money reality from others' points of views. So the third one, if it's still there, ask, if I didn't have to have this negative point of view or negative judgment about it, what is the strength under it that I'm not acknowledging? Because there's one thing, and I know there's a lot of you out here, and like a lot of us have worked on ourselves. Some of us just like to work on ourselves just for kicks, And we have done it for years and years and lifetimes together, and one thing I realized was the most screwed up thing about you, the most judgeable offense about you, the most wrong thing about you, there's probably actually an absolute opposite potency that is so unique to you and that has been so powerful that you were not, or that you were either implanted or explanted in some lifetime to never have access to it. So everything that doesn't allow you to access the potency under that, can you please destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, all nine, shorts, boys, provads, and beyond. So that was the clearing statement. It's there. There is a new clearing statement. It's on theclearingstatement.com. And you can go through it. And I like going through the clearingstatement.com video anyways, because a lot of times, and plus like I have to translate it. So, but it's like there are such interesting insights in it. There's one thing that we talk about is how many of you try to make money meaningless in your life? How many of you were told to make money meaningless? There was this class that Gary Douglas did in 2012, and he was talking about like when, have you heard people say, oh, I would have done it. It's not about the money, but I don't want to do this. It's not about the money. Or like, no, don't pay me. Or like, I remember I used to be someone like that in a job interview. I used to say this. I would, imagine saying this in corporate America in a job interview. I would be like, no, I love the job and I love the profile and I really want to do it for the job and profile. For me, it's not about the money. The right is, it's not about the money for me. I'm going to do this for the joy. Yes, that's true. Because from majority of humanoids, it's not about the money. Okay, we like to do things for the joy of it. We like to, and not for just our joy. When it makes someone else happy, we do explore ways to basically go and do things for others as well. Okay, but every time you say it's not about the money, what you do is you uninvite money. Okay, so the minute you say it's not about money, you close the door and you uninvite money, then the energy of money cannot contribute to that creation. That's a whole barrier right there. So everywhere you have uninvited money, can you please destroy and uncreate it all? Right or wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, all nine, shorts, boys, provads, and beyonds. Okay. So it's like, what if, and because you're taught the opposite, right? That it has to be either not about the money, that means close the door to the money, or if I'm making it about the money, that means there has to be something worth in it for me. But both of those, they keep you locked in a polarity. They keep you tied up. Okay. But if you let the energy, if you actually don't buy either side of the polarity and let money contribute to it, energetically or in cash or whatever, or both, then the creation actually gets bigger. So how many of you have actually uninvited money based on your calculation that this is not about money, or money is not required here, or in your relationships? I love this person I'm married to. It's not about money.
Oh, can I share something? I mean, I'm Rishika here from Mumbai.
Hi.
Hi. So when you were sharing, but I could see like every job interview I've told them, it's no, I don't want to work for money, just the pleasure or the joy of working. And I can very definitely see that, yeah, I'm okay with very less salary too. So, and I really want to break that. But in my choice of words, it was always showing up, okay, no, I don't want to work for money. I just work because I enjoy. I can see that very clearly. Thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And yes, please enjoy it regardless of money. You always want to enjoy everything regardless of money. but you don't have to necessarily make a choice by uninviting money. Enjoy money to the game of your life. So that's what I'm saying. Like even in your marriage,
Absolutely. Yeah.
even in your marriage, even in your friendship, even with your child, right? You love your child. Do you love your child because of the money that he's going to grow up and make for you? No. So the immediate answer is no, it's not about the money. I love my child because this is my child. Yeah. But everywhere you uninvited money into the energy here of your play with your child, can we please destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, hot, cold, night, shirts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And so it's like, you know, and then also it's like start getting present to where you're making things about the money, where you're making things not about the money. Both of those are an uninvitation to the energy of money. Okay. So yeah, so, and thank you, you know, Rishika, Saxena. Okay, are we related? I don't know, but usually Saxena is kind of, I am told, are somewhere somehow related. So sister from another mother, you know, so it's like, yeah, like start pot-pocking that where you're uninviting money. Another example of where you uninvite money is when you reject something, when you dismiss something. And this may not be exactly that you're rejecting money when you're dismissing something. Like it could be that Tejas sees a woman with a nice handbag, and but then he's like, oh, what? I'm not. But you know, and it's like, but he looks at this woman with a nice handbag. Now there are two energies to it. One is, well, the handbag is nice, but I'm a guy. Okay, I'm not interested in buying a purse. Maybe I'll buy it for my wife, but you know, that's a different energy. But I'm not interested in buying a purse. Okay, that's one energy. Then the other energy is get to the underlying creation of that being that created that as a reality. Because when you dismiss something because it does not apply to your gender, to your marital status, to your motherhood, fatherhood status, or your country, or whatever, or you're like, oh no, this, or maybe even if it's a toy, let's say there's a toy, a child is playing with a toy, and you're like, I'm a grown-up, I'm not interested in that toy. But what you do is, and you're in a store and there are toys, there are purses, but then you're like, no, I'm here for a belt, and you go buy a belt. But then when you go to a store and you see all of these items there, but you're like, I don't require that. I don't require a carpet. I don't require a sweater. We live in Mumbai. We don't require sweaters. But what you're doing is with each of those, you're actually energetically making choices. No, 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 no. Okay. So what if you could receive all those items? Does not mean you have to go buy them, or you could go buy them, whatever. Okay. But what if you could start getting present to the places where you're rejecting something, because that is rejection. That is rejecting the energies each one is. So when you walk into a place, when you walk into a park, okay, and there are a lot of people, and then some of them are having chaat, okay, and you're like, no, I have an upset stomach, don't want chaat. That. What if you don't have to go, don't record this, no, not this, no, not this, no, not this. What if everything from do it as a home play from now to in the next 24 hours, everywhere you go, be it in anyone's house, okay, or in your own house, there may be things that in your house that you're like, I don't like this, but my wife bought it, but whatever, okay. But it's like, what if instead of going, no, I don't want this, you go like, okay, include it, include it, include it, include it, include it, include it. Okay, so that's another example of where you uninvite energies, and when with your rejection, you uninvite the money. Okay, these are basically just Gary Douglas tools that I'm just giving you from different billions of calls that I've done. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. So, okay, so still now take a look at, did you get more present with your money reality that we started with in the beginning of the call, or did you disconnect and go places? Or did you actually go places and then get present with it and still are present with it? Now notice the energy, has that changed? Don't try to think it. You don't have to think it. You will just know yes or no, or it's like if that's changed. Okay. Now take a look at what are your positive judgments? What are your 3 positive judgments of your money reality? Aha, that was easy, right? That was so quick, huh? Made you smile. Yes, pot them. Okay, because those are exactly that will become, because judgment as a way becomes a barrier and it stops the energy flow. What if it could get greater? What if instead of a positive judgment, you could turn it into a gratitude and acknowledgement and ask, how does it get better, with total willingness to even let this go and change and morph. That, my friends, is your ability to morph realities. Morphing is changing the shapes and forms of things and situations and energies and things in your life. Okay, so that's another thing. It's like, and I know I've been talking like nonstop for like 30 minutes, and I still wanted to cover this one thing called as acknowledgement. We'll come to that. Okay, but one of the things, like the 3 of us, me, Parita, and Tejas, we really wanted to announce to you guys is like, I'm coming to Pune, and we also have this available online. So those of you who are not in Pune, don't be disheartened. But it's like, I'm doing this. I'm after a long time, really a long time, because those of you who know me, they know that I don't do classes like, oh, I will do this class. I don't even do foundation classes like every month or 2 months. When the energy pops up, I go do it. When if it doesn't pop up, I'm like, I'm cool. Okay, so it's like, this is a class that I'm doing like after 3 or 4 years, but I do a lot of money workbook, advanced money workbook classes and everything. But this particular class, which is called Being You with Money, is kind of very close to my heart in a way, because this class, there's no form or structure. There's very little form or structure in this class. There is no workbook to follow, but this class basically gives me the freedom to work with the energetics and teach you the energetics, and show you how to actually, share the tools of magic with you to change the money reality in your life. And as a result, you do walk away actually being more of you, because you, my friend, are an infinite being. Okay. And that's the thing. It's like, that's what we were coming to in the beginning as well. Like, are you the person that people know you by? Are you actually energy, space, consciousness, magic, miracles, mysteries, and possibilities? You are energy, space, consciousness, choice, magic, miracles, mysteries, and possibilities. You are that space. And when you function from that space, please ask yourself, does your current money reality match that? If it doesn't, I highly recommend coming to the class and joining us, because your reality, your money reality, actually is much bigger, as big as the universe. Your ease with money, your peace with money, your creation with money. And the other thing that one of my favorite things in my life is my friendship with money. It's like, there is this whole energy that I live with, is money has my back and I have money's back. What do I mean by me having money's back? I don't judge it like a nagging spouse. That, oh, this week it should have been this much. It didn't count. No, I let money be you. It's like, that's my communication with money. Be you. Okay. And that's my communication with everyone and all of you guys. Be you. Be who you truly are. Because that you, as each one of you, are a uniqueness. And explore that uniqueness. And that is the magical gift to the planet. That is a magical gift. And one of the places where we actually, and I know everybody loves that conversation. Yeah, be me. Yes, I'm going to be me. But the minute you go outside of this call and somebody close to you, okay, not a random person. I mean, you guys are Indians, and Indians are so much used to taking crap and judgment from random strangers. Okay, we really have a very good muscle. We don't get hurt by it. Okay, but when it's your spouse or it's your child or it's a close friend who comes and judges you, where do you go? I'm willing to bet my money on it, but it's like a lot of times people go into is this, give up their reality of infinite being to match theirs. What if there's a different possibility? That doesn't mean kick your friends out, kick your spouses out, not a joke, okay? Or kick your kids out. No, none of that. But what if there's a different way to still have your reality, your infinite knowing, your infinite being, your infinite perceiving, your infinite being, and still have people that you love and care for and keep caring for them, even if at times, or how much ever they judge you. But that is just one small example of how quickly we give up our reality of infinite being. One very quick one. Another one could be you suddenly, it's like you could get a very bad coughing attack middle of the night, and you'll be like, oh my God, I'm sick. You give up your reality. Another example, you suddenly get bigger in weight and size, and you weigh yourself, and then you're like, oh fuck, I'm going, sorry for my language, but oh shit, I'm going fat. You give up your reality. Or your salary goes wonky, or there was a payment that was going to come, or something, or a fight happens with a coworker or something, or in career path, or one of those things happen, and it goes, oh shit, you give up your reality. That's how quickly it has been easy and entrained in us to give up our reality of infinite being. So one of the things that we also do a lot is not just with these examples, but with a lot of facilitation and a lot of clearing and a lot of changing the energetics, we also go into a space that once you leave the class, you don't leave your reality. How many of you have walked into a class with that hope as well? That when you leave the class, you don't leave the space that you be with it. Okay, so coming to that quickly. So our and I think they just probably put the details. Okay, they have put the details. Okay, so now coming to that. Okay, now how's your money reality? Where are you guys now? Still there? Are you able to send? Did it change? Is it still the same? Did it send, or did you check out? Did the money reality check out? What happened? Get present to all of those aspects. Okay, now with that, now let's bring in the energy of acknowledgement. Okay, acknowledge. What if you could now get present to the last time you acknowledged a tree or a flower? Okay, and I'm talking specifically tree or a flower, not even pets, not even a furniture. Okay, because there is an energy that we be with the trees and flowers where there's a gifting and receiving, and believe it or not, money is very similar to that. Okay, so there is an energy. It's like remind yourself, or quickly go back and check out this time and space when you were with a tree, when you just acknowledged a tree, the cuts and the bark and the leaves and the little ants on it, but you were like present with it. Okay, or a flower. Okay, the little lines, the veins in the petal, or the small things in the center, and and it's like, and you're like, yep, there's a reason why you all slept through your botany or biology class, because no one told me, but we vortexed, a lot of us, like all of you guys who slept through geography, biology. One of the reasons is because you vortexed, because you actually immediately went into the nature every time nature was talked about in your classroom. That's how quick you are. Notice a lot of you already went there. You actually, as a being, went and connected with all the trees and plants. Okay, now again, don't get overwhelmed. Okay, now get present again. Your money reality is still there while we're talking different things, and it also gives me an ability where your mind is not present with the money reality. So while I'm talking in terms of different things, it gives me an ability to also change your money reality. So now go with that, get present again with your money reality, and now be with your money reality the same way that you were with the trees, that you were with that tree, that you were with that flower. Do that a little bit more. Initially, there will be a mental chatter, but my sense is a lot of you doing a lot better by not paying attention to the mental chatter. And one of the reasons could be because we are here energetically having your back, so your mind doesn't have to pull you away. Okay? And I have your back. So go ahead, be with that. You don't have to fall to the seduction of the mental chatter. Let it be there, like a TV playing in background. All okay. Be with your money reality and acknowledge. Say a hi. If you would like, give it a hug.
Hi.
Give it a hug. If you want to, embrace it, whatever you want to. Or flow lots of, if you can, flow a lot of gratitude. And now lower your walls and barriers and receive from what it would like to flow to you. And some of you may actually start to feel sleepy. Not a problem. Okay? Try this again in the night. Do that a few times in the day, in the night, even in the middle of the night if you wake up. Say hi to your money reality and lower your walls and barriers. No points of views about it, no negative, no positive judgment. Kind of like the way some of you are with your kids or with your pets, but really like the way I really like the energy of like how it is with tree and money, a tree and flowers, because money kind of matches that energy of tree and flower very closely as well. It's interesting. Okay. So let it gift you whatever it would like to and receive from it. And what if you could say, thank you for being here. Thank you for contributing to the play of my life. Thank you for always being here. And now what can I do? What can I be to nurture you? What can I do? What can I be to nurture you? What generosity of spirit can you be with your money reality? One of the generosity of spirit is not about buying gifts. It's the first step to generosity of spirit is no judgment. So what generosity of spirit can you be with your money reality? Right? So that was me trying to give you like one quick tool. And that was one tool. Okay, cool. Any questions? Or if you like the space, you don't have to load it up with questions and words. It's okay, because all of you kind of are in that space. You can be with it. Or if you do have a question, feel free to ask, not a problem.
I have a question. I mean, this is the first time it was like when you asked us to have that relationship, the kind of relationship, the energy you had with the tree, it took me to a very like completely whole new level. It was like a kind of love with the energy of it was something very new I discovered. So my question, thank you for that. Thank you so much. I can still feel that I don't know how to express. It's like kind of a relationship.
And that's great. And thank you so much for acknowledging that energy and acknowledging that energy. You pretty much spoke for, I think, a lot of people. And thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing. And you don't have to define it. Keep
Yeah.
letting it grow. And thank you so much for
Yes.
acknowledging. Yes.
Thank you. So my question is, how do I like maintain this? Like the moment the call is over, I don't want to like, there's so much of love I could perceive.
Yeah.
It was like dancing in the conversation with I was just dancing with that energy. Like we were moving together is what I experienced.
Yeah.
I want to be like, I don't want to let it go. That is my question.
And that's such a brilliant question. I love that question. And yes, and it's like I said, you probably speaking for like first of all, acknowledge like how amazing you are with words and being a voice. That's awesome. Okay. And yeah, and that's what we are going to be doing for 1.5 days. So I would love to invite all of you to that class and and play with this, do this again, do this exercise again. And yes, this is not the result. This is literally a trailer of what is possible for you. And I would love, because that's one demand I have in the world is to invite people to the magical capacities that they uniquely have with money. Each one of you has a magical capacity with money that may not look like the people you were born with, the people you married, the person you married to, or people you've lived with. No, and that's irrelevant, because you have lived through lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. But a lot of times we think that we have lived greater lives before. But what if you are yet to live the greatest life yet? And that is an adventure of you being you. And that's the beauty, and I love that. And like, yes, that's what, like, I would like all of you guys to have that, invite that, create that. And I'll still adore you. If you're not choosing the class, I would highly recommend, invite you. All of us would love to, and it's okay. But that, but our desire with this call was to show the magic that's available in your life.
I'm definitely choosing it.
Yeah.
I've never experienced this before.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And how does it get better than that? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And that's the thing. You have never experienced it before, because exactly that. We think that we have lived our greatness already by being kings and queens and gods of planets. What if that was just the tip of the iceberg, and you are yet to live the greatness and the brilliance that you can be with this dynamic, beautiful, joyous, celebrating energy of you with money and money. Thank you so much, guys. Anyone else? Any questions? All good? Okay. Anything else?
Good and super excited actually. Like in just about 50 minutes, we changed so much.
Yeah. And
And
acknowledge that.
yeah.
Guys, like that's what, like, I kept, like, we went different places, but it's like that didn't mean that we changed the topic.
Yeah.
Okay. Being present with something is not about like,
Yeah.
okay? It's like, it's about including that and dealing with the rest of your day, rest of your stuff, and still here. Hi, I'm still with you, and being with that energy. And because what happens is your first choice was to come to the call. The second choice was when we asked about get present with your money reality. And then every conversation that followed was a contribution to get you to the space of acknowledging and being with the money reality, being with the creationship with that money, the relationship that you have with money that it was demanding you for. Okay. have that, more of that. How does it get better than that? What else is possible now? All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. And you can put my phone number in there as well, 9611. I should probably put that in the chat because, yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Feel free to reach out to any one of us. We're here. We have your back. Thank you. Bye. See ya.
Photograph.
Bye.
Thank you all. Yes,
Smile,
Harish.
please.
Photograph.
Smile, please.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a minute. Just.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Smile, please. Smile, please. Yes.
Thank you, Shivam. Thank you all.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Thank
See you all
you.
in the class.
Yeah.
Thank you. Brilliant call.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.